Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we are diving into a powerful tool that every penetration tester and system administrator alike should know, and that is rpcclient. I will walk you through how to use it to enumerate valuable information from a Windows machine step by step. Whether you are doing SCTF, hardening your own systems, or learning the ropes of ethical hacking, this is a must-have technique in your toolkit. So let's jump right in and start exploring. Let's first connect to the target using RPC client. So we type in RPC client, the username, which is Dave, and then the target IP address. So once we press enter, it will prompt us for the password. So we type in the password for the user Dave and press enter. Now we are connected to the target using RPC client. So the first thing that we can do in here, we can type in query dom info. Query dom info, it shows us information about the domain. So in here you can see that the domain name is blazerized. It shows the total number of users, the groups, the aliases, and the server role, which is kind of important. In here, this is the PDC domain. So the role is PDC, primary domain controller. Now next, we can also look at the individual users. So we can say enum dom users. So once we press enter, in here it shows us a list of users on the target. So in here, these are all the users that we have on the target. I just logged in using the Dave user. Next, it's query user. So we can use query user, and then we can use so in here you can see that besides each name we have these values, the RID, relative identifiers. So we can just quickly copy this and you can type in, paste it in here. So once we press enter, it shows information about this particular user. So in here it shows information about the user Dave. This is the description for that user. It shows some more information about this. So you can see that the user rate and also the group rate, these are very important information about the user. Next, after this, we can check enum dom groups. So it will enumerate the groups. So in here, these are all the groups that it was able to find. Now again, just like we did with the user, we can query a specific group. So let's say we want to query this group 0x200. So let's just quickly copy it, and so for the command for this, it's query group. Just paste in this, the RID for the group. So in here you can see that it says the group name is domain admins. It gives a quick description, a small description for the group, and it shows the attributes 7 and the number of members is just 1. Next, we can also check the privileges that the user has. So for that, the command is enumprivs. So it will show the privileges for the user with which we have logged in. So in here you can see that these are all the privileges that the user has. Now these are quite a few. So these are just for the user Dave. Now what we can do is we can also get the privileges for the other users if we want to. So we can do enum dom users. So in here you can see that these are all the users in our domain that you're able to find. So in here, let's say we want to check the privileges of user John. So we just have to copy the relative identifier or the RID in here. So next we can do enumprivs, and this time we can pass in the RID value. So once we press enter, in here you can see that it shows the privileges for the user whose RID we just copied here. Next, we can query the domain password policy. So we type in get dom pwinfo. Now it shows us some information about the password policy. It doesn't show as much information as the get ad default domain password policy, the PowerShell commandlet, or the net accounts Windows command prompt, but it does show some information about the password policy. But there's another thing we can do with this. We can also get the user DOM PW info, which is the user's password policy, which is specific to which applies to a specific user. So for this, we can say enum DOM users. So in here, let's just say the user div. So we take the username, we copy it, and then we say get user DOM PW info, and then we enter in the RID for the user, and here you can see that it shows the information, the password policy for this particular user. Now the next command we look at is lookup domain. So if you type in lookup domain and press enter, it will say type in the domain name. So for the domain name, we have our domain. We will type in our domain name, which is blazerize.htb. So press enter. Here you can see that it shows us the SID, so security identifier for the domain. And now another way of getting this information is by using LSA query. So if you type in LSA query and press enter, in here you can see that we don't have to mention the domain this time. It gives us the domain name, and it gives us the SID, or the security identifier for the domain. Now we can also look up RIDs, or RIDs, relative identifiers. So for that, we will be using the SAM lookup RIDs subcommand, and then we type in domain and some famous ones. So let's say 500, it is for the administrator. When we press enter, in here you can see that it gives the RID for this user. When we type in the RID, which is 500, it gives the user that belongs to that RID. And we can try another one. So if we type in, let's say 501, 501 belongs to the user guest, and another famous one is 512. So this is for the domain admins group here. Now next, let's take a look at query disp info. So type in query disp info. So in here we press enter. So this shows us a list of users. So in here you can see that we have our users. Div, I'm currently logged in as div, and some accounts, they have their descriptions. So built-in account for guest access. So if an account has a description, you type in this command and you will get the user's description. Sometimes some users, they might have their passwords in the descriptions. So this is a very useful command that you can try. Next, let's look at netshare enum. It enumerates the available shares. So in here it shows the two shared drives that is available for us. So one is sysvol and the other one is net logon. So if the target is exposing more shared drives, in here this is a very good way of enumerating those shared drives. But we can also get more information about these shared drives. So we can say net share get info, and then we can type in the share name. So we can say sysvol, press enter. In here you can see that it gives more information about that. So if there's a remark, and it gives the path. So in here you can see that it shows the ACLs, all this information that can come in very handy. That's a wrap on our quick dive into Windows enumeration using rpcclient. If you found this tutorial helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment if you have questions or want to see more deep dives like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep hacking ethically.